So in the previous lesson we played only one note in a bar, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this lesson we'll be playing two notes in a bar, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry, we are not going to play the same notes twice. So when you hear the G, the first G major basically, we'll be playing the root note and the third note of that chord, which is G and B. So we know that the G is here and the third is right there, it's major third. So if this is G, that's your B. So it's going to sound like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for C major, the root and third of a C major, which is C, E. So we have a C here, third string, 5th fret, and right below C we have the major third, which is E. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you move the same shape a whole step up, we'll have the root note and the third note for the D major chord, which is D, F sharp. And for the last bar G alone, we'll end up with only one note for the whole bar, which is the root itself. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's going to sound like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. What we'll do is we'll learn to play the root and third in a different way. So we'll play the G here, like always. So instead of playing the B here, which is on the 3rd string, 4th fret, we'll play it on the 4th string, 9th fret. There's also a B. We'll use our pinky finger to hold the note. So it's on the 4th string, fret number 9. So we'll play G, 2, B, 2. And when it comes to C major, we'll play C. Instead of playing the E here, we'll play it on the 9th fret again, on the 3rd string. So C, 2, E, 2. And if you move the same shape one whole step higher, we'll play D and F sharp. So this is D, this is on the 7th fret, and 11th fret is F sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For the last G, there's two options. You can either play the G here, which is on the 2nd string, 8th fret, or the one on the 3rd string, 12th fret. So we'll go with this, we'll learn something new today. So our melody is going to sound like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We'll try it over the backing track. So again, what we did for the last sequence, we played a slide for the first note. So we'll slide into the first note, which is a G, and we'll play the B note next. So if you notice in this case where we have a note which has to be played before G, we'll use the middle finger to play the G because we know that there's a note that's supposed to be played here. We'll keep a finger ready for that particular note. So in such cases, we choose different fingers. So we'll play the G with middle finger, slide into G, and then play B. If you use the same finger for both the notes, but then we'll have to cut out G and then come to D. It's going to cut down the sustain. So instead we'll make it sound like that. It'll sound fuller. So middle finger, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for C major, to C and E, we'll slide into C from B. And then we'll play the E with the same finger. And for a D major, it's D and F sharp. We'll slide in from C to D and then F sharp. And the next G, we can slide in from the F sharp to G again. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, D in 4. We'll try it over the backing track. So now we can apply the same technique to the other pattern that we learned. We can slide into G and we'll play the B here, and we'll slide into C, we'll play the E here, slide into D, play the F sharp on the 11th fret, 3rd string, and slide to G. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 and 4. So for the last G, it'll be hard to slide with the pinky finger. So what we do is, while your pinky finger is on the F sharp note, we'll use the other 3 fingers to support your pinky finger by placing it on the same string, right behind the pinky finger. And press and hold it, push it to the G. That way it'll become easier to support your pinky finger to play the note. So we'll try it over the backing track. So we just played the root and third for all the chords. Now what we'll do is we'll play the third and fifth for all chords again. So for a G major, it's going to be B and D. So we'll play the B here, and there's a D right there on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So we'll play 1, 2, 3, 4. And for a C major, it's E and G. So we have a E here on the 2nd string, 5th fret, and G is on the 1st string, 3rd fret. And if you put it the same shape a whole step higher, we'll have F sharp and A, the 3rd and 5th for D major chord. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll finish with the next B octave, which is on the 1st string, 7th fret. So again, in this case, if you notice, we have a note supposed to be played before the B on the next string. So we'll use a middle finger for B, index finger for the next note, and the next note for a C major, if you notice, it's E and G. So we have a ring finger free here, so we can use the ring finger to play the E, and we'll use the index finger to play the G, because it's a whole step away from the next note here. So, and again we'll have a middle finger that's free to play any note if in case we have to play it here. So these are the basics for finger placement. So we can follow the same fingering that I use in the video. So ring finger for E, index finger for G, and same thing for F sharp, A, and ring finger for the last B. So we'll try it over the backing track. This sequence again, we can play it with a different pattern. We can play the B here, like from the previous sequence, and we can play the D here, which is on the same string, 7th fret. 3rd string, 7th fret is a D. So B, D, and for C major we'll play E and G. So G is on the 2nd string, 8th fret, and play the same shape a whole step higher. This will become the F sharp, and that's an A on the 10th fret, and we'll finish with the next octave, B, on the 12th fret of the 2nd string. So the sequence is going to sound like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll try it over the backing track. same way like we did to the previous melody, which is the root and the third, we'll add slides to the first note of the sequence. So in this case it's a B, so we'll slide in from A to B. And then play the D note here. And slide in with the ring finger to the E note for a C major, which is E and G. And then play the G with your index finger. And slide into F sharp from E. And finish with A on the first string, 5th fret. And for the last B again, we'll slide using our index finger. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. We'll try it over the backing track. We'll apply the same technique to the next sequence again. So which is B, and then D here, and E and G, F sharp, A. So last B is going to be a slide again. So it's going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. We'll try it over the backing track. Now we are done playing the root, third and third, fifth for each chord. The last thing that's left to do is the fifth and the root. So for a G, it's going to be a D and G. So which is the fifth and root. So this is on the third string, 7th fret, and fourth string, 5th fret. That's a D, is the G. And for a C major, it's going to be G and C, which is on the second string, 8th fret, G note, and third string, 5th fret is a C note. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you push the same shape to a whole step, then that's for a D major, which is A and B. And then for the last octave D, we'll finish on the first string, 10th fret. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. So we play this over a backing track. Same way like we did for the other sequences, we'll add slide to the first note. So in this case, if you notice, we'll have to play the D with a ring finger because the G is here. We'll be using our index finger to play the G. So we'll have to slide in using our ring finger from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, from C to D. So it becomes really hard if you slide like that. So instead what we do is we'll do the same thing. We'll place the other fingers right in front of the ring finger on the same string, so it's easier for us to get a good control of slide. So we'll slide in from C, and then we'll play G. And same way, here for a C major, if you notice, we play the G and C. So instead of sliding in like that, we'll use the other fingers to give more stability to the slide. So we'll use other fingers and place it right before the pinky finger. The pinky finger is on the F sharp note, 7th fret, 2nd string. Place the other fingers, slide to G, and play the C. Same thing for the D major, we'll slide on from G to A, and then play the D. The last D is going to be like that, on the 10th fret of the first string. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll try it over the backing track. So for the fifth and root, we are going to play only this particular sequence, because if you play it on the same string, then your fifth is going to be here, and the G is quite a stretch. So it's not really necessary to practice this as of now. So just stick on to these. So again, we'll have to practice all these over the backing track. Make sure that you make good use of it. And I'll just show you how we are supposed to practice over the tracks again. And again, I'll be using slides to only the notes that I feel like, and we'll see how it sounds over the backing track. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have an idea of where the chord notes are on the fretboard, or on at least a few places on the fretboard. So we'll be using a particular shape to connect all these dots in the upcoming lessons, so stay tuned.